Oh my god. Oh my god, give me a mo. Okay, I'm up. Hi! Another day, another edit. Another day in the same exact clothes, and the same exact hair, and the same exact headset, another edit. It's Groundhog Day. I should open every single stream saying the same thing so it becomes impossible to try and find where I started editing. Just a thought. Hi everyone! I look pink today, that's great. That's great, Brigley. Thank you for saying something so sincere and so nice, as usual. Still no bucket hat. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just tired. I had the biggest schmeep of my life. Not down, just my brain going, whoa, because I slept for how long? I slept from 3 p.m. to 3 to 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. How many hours is that? That is a ridiculous amount of time. So my body is like, we should be dead if we're sleeping that long. You should not be here right now. 20 hours, yeah, big sleep. Nearly big sleep. A lot of sleep. And you know what they say, the more you sleep, the more tired you are, which is true. Those who sleep the longest are the sleepiest. So that's me. I'm just a bit eepy sleepy, but that's all fine because, okay, Sleeping Beauty. This whole time. Anyway, I gotta work. It's time to work. Not so bad. Not so bad. It shouldn't be too difficult today. I will be working to 10 minutes of editing today, and that won't be too hard because it's a lot of camera editing today. But the issue is I have so many chapter panels to download today and find. Because I haven't talked about Egghead before, so I don't have a lot of Egghead panels saved. So it's gonna be it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be a heavy downloading editing stream. So here we go. Heavy manga searching editing stream. All right. Let's start. I'll put on music and then I'll get to work and you guys can do what you want to do. Which is have me on in the background for some reason as your comfort streamer, which is weird. That's weird. Oh, it's 1 p.m. for me, by the way. A very normal time. Oh god, I gotta search for music. Oh, I hate this part. I meant to look for more music. I know that I have to do that. I have to do something else. La 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 la. I always forget. What chapter does Egghead end again? It's 11:23, I think, is the ending to Egghead. Exactly 11:23. Oh wow, we love to see it. I knew it. Hang on, I'm double checking to see. Oh no, it's 11:24. Damn it. Damn it. Why does Bonney and Kuma smile? Is that 11:22? I'm looking for it now. Give me a sec. Saturn gets to suck. 11:25 is going to be when Bonney and Kuma smiles. Because that's when they get away. The controversial Bonney Kuma smiling scene. How dare a little girl be happy? And how dare her papa have a semblance of life still in him because he is happy to be back with his daughter. God, why does Oda keep having to write happy endings? Pissing me off. Okay, it's 11:26. It is indeed 11:26. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hello? Why did I do that? Oh, that's why. Oh, God. This bastard. I told you guys, right? I had to extend this. This originally went for 4 seconds. And I'm like, 4 seconds is plenty enough time. 1, 2, 3, 4 to read that. I had to extend it to 6 seconds. Because of the comments I got that were like, where did you spoil warn it? And people were like, not watching the beginning of the video. I still can't get over that. Like, people thought the first 4 seconds might have just been the video loading or something, so they didn't look at the screen. So I had to extend it to make sure people actually go, hey, why is it so quiet for so long? Looks at the screen. Oh! I can't get over that. I actually can't get over that. I'll never ever get over the comment I got that was like, I treat your videos like a podcast, but you still add things on the screen. So I miss some things. Is there something you can do to like change that? Maybe watch the video. Damn. Damn. Like, maybe don't treat a video essay like a podcast. I can't get over that one. That one actually got me crazy. You know that thing that it's like, there's no way people are this stupid. You know how that's like a thing? And then if you work with like people, anyone who works with people will be like, no, it's this stupid. Yeah, but you watch it at work, right? But if you miss something that's on the screen, you don't blame me for the format. Do you know what I mean, Parts? Like, I sure hope you don't. You don't then go like, oh, you put something on the screen and I wasn't watching, that's your problem. You know what I mean? Like, how dare you do that to me? Oh. I'll never ever get over that comment because I was just baffled. I already know who's watching Brigley by what they comment. It's very easy to tell. No, I have a lot of people that are like, hey, can you at least say where in the video you spoil the thing so people can watch up to that point and then come back afterwards? And I always say no, because that's a part of the essay. If you watch half of the video, you're not gonna see every point of what I'm trying to say, are you? And it's like, I literally cannot exclude the spoilers and just make that the video. Because otherwise there's like huge chunks of what I'm saying that you're missing, and it's like, I don't think people understand. This is not slop content. I'm not churning out slop. I'm making honest to God essays about One Piece that mean a lot to me. I'm sorry if you haven't caught up, you're just gonna have to catch up. It's that simple. My slop! My slop! Oh my god. Saber oh Fred, my slop. Anyway. I'm glad you liked the Ace video. I was really nervous about the Ace video when I was making it, because Ace is like super important to a lot of people in like a crazy way, and I was like, oh god, what if I fuck up? What if I fuck up? And they're like, this is not Ace. Because Ace, of course, is not my favorite character. I love him, but he's not my favorite. I'm a lot more confident making videos on like my favorite character like Sanji than I am on Ace. Because if a Sanji fan comes up to, or if someone who is not like the biggest Sanji fan comes up to me and says, I disagree because of this, I can argue the fuck out of that and be like, wrong. I get Sanji more than you. But if an Ace fan comes up to me and says, I actually don't agree with that, I'll be like, oh my god, I have to kill myself. Because they're probably right. Because they're the Ace fan, you know, not me. So it's a lot more nerve-wracking. Oh, thank you. Hi, good night. They're making an Imu plushie? What? 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 Oh my god, this is so ominous. Look at this thing. What? This is like horrifying. This is a plushie. That is so horrifying. I would scare the shit out of my roommates with that. I'd put it around random places in the house, so when they turn on the light, it scares them. That is so scary! Oh my god, he's holding Luffy's poster! Oh! That's a nice little touch. That is really scary. Now that I look at it, Imu kind of looks like a weenus. Do you think it's a dick joke? Do you think Imu is a walking dick joke? Would Oda do that? Oda would do that, to be fair. The Imuinus. It's likely. He did that with Lao G. He did. Maybe he'll do it again. The first silhouette plush. Maybe this will become a collectible. Come spend your money on the ominous blob. Volume 1 in Japanese. Can you read it, Sam? Is it like Is this your homework, or did you just want it in Japanese? Understandable if you did. Just to have. Yeah, I get it. Each volume is in a different language? That's really cool, actually. That is not a pretty arrow. You can't even see it, thank God. There we go. Yeah, I can read... Look, anyone who has studied Japanese for even a moment can read hiragana and katakana and parts of kanji. I know maybe 5 kanji in total, but kanji is the fucking worst. You know it's bad when even like some Japanese people are like, I don't know what that kanji is. It's fucking, I hate it. Kanji is look, it simplifies sentences, so it's like useful, but I don't like it. Makes me angry. It's a pain in the ass to learn. Do you have to complete the sentence in one before switching? No, not at all. You can use any of the 3 alphabets in one sentence. Again, kanji just simplifies. So kanji shortens a sentence basically, and can also have more meaning than just simply hiragana. Katakana is usually used for borrowed words, but even that isn't a solid rule. Like Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, blah blah blah, their names are all in katakana because there's no, like, they're not Japanese names. The writing is the same from what I know in like the writing is mostly the same in all prefectures. It's just the dialect of speaking is different in different prefects. Because I asked my friend, from Tokyo if he can understand like real country like Japanese, and he was like, no. He said I really struggle to pick up on like heavy country dialects in Japanese. I'm talking out there, not like Kyoto. I'm talking like buttfuck nowhere. Sorry, my friend just sent me something. My oomph just sent me something. Because I got a, there was someone saying something about the whole Sanji... It's Sanji! The whole Sanji Whole Cake Island situation. And how we were talking about how, like, some people correlate Usopp's Water 7 situation with Sanji's Whole Cake Island situation, but they correlate the wrong things. Because I even made the comparison in my Luffy video that Usopp's Water 7 video and Sanji's Whole Cake Island... Sorry, video. Usopp's Whole Cake... Oh my god! Usopp's Whole Cake Island! Elbaf! Usopp's Water 7 situation and Sanji's Whole Cake Island situation is a showing of how Luffy has evolved, right? How Luffy has grown. Because in the Water 7 situation, Luffy was honestly childish. I don't care what people say about Usopp in that moment. Luffy allowed that situation to escalate in that way because he didn't properly react as a captain, in my opinion. And it escalated to the point that a fight like in that instance broke out and Usopp was like, okay, fine, I'm leaving because you're not listening to me, essentially. Even though Luffy knew how horrible of a decision this was and he'd already had a moment to grieve about the Mary. Usopp just had the worst, most horrible fucking day of his life, and then Luffy's like, by the way, to pile that more on, we're just changing the Mary. And it's felt like Luffy didn't care, because Luffy had already gone through that moment of, oh no, the Mary. And now he's just springing it on Usopp. And that did not help Usopp at all, right? Because Usopp knew. Usopp knew that the Mary did need to be changed. Like, Usopp knew the Mary was done for. But the way Luffy presented that information, and at the in the moment he presented that information, was not a good time. And Luffy basically allowed the tension to get the best of him. And sprung on Usopp, essentially, to the point that Sanji kicked the shit out of Luffy and said, oh my god, think about what you are saying. Like, not even Sanji blamed, like, no one blamed Usopp in that situation amongst the Straw Hats. But everyone was looking towards Luffy. Zoro and Sanji specifically were looking towards Luffy and seeing his reaction and what he was going to do there. Only when things calmed down and when Usopp actually wasn't apologizing afterwards is when Zoro was like, no, you can't go to him. Because Usopp did challenge in that moment, right? But I still stand by that the way Luffy handled that situation was poor. It was incredibly poor. And even Zoro and Sanji knew that. Because again, Sanji kicked Luffy and said, you have to think about what you're saying. You were the captain. What you say holds a lot more weight than anything we say because you were the captain. So you go from Water 7 and you go to Whole Cake Island and you see how Luffy handles the Sanji situation, and he holds it with a lot more grace and he holds it with a lot more maturity, because I always saw it as Sanji remembered how Luffy was in Water 7. So when he was trying to get rid of Luffy in Whole Cake Island, he started acting vicious, acting rough. He wanted Luffy gone. Luffy has grown as a captain. He now knows what to do and what not to do. And what he needs not to do is to retaliate. If he retaliates, it makes the situation worse. He knows that now, because that's what he learned from Water 7, right? And that's why Luffy didn't do anything. He didn't move to do anything. He just allowed Sanji to hit him because he knows something's wrong. And I was talking about that with my friend, and the reason we were talking about this is because I said that, you know, if Zoro went to Whole Cake Island, I think he'd just forcefully try and get Sanji back, because he works like that. He's very forward and he's very aggressive, and he'll just try and get what he wants. It's what he does. And it was a frustrating situation. And a lot of people were basically saying, oh, but that's not what he did with Usopp. That's not how he reacted with Usopp. And they're taking the Usopp situation, but they are not applying it properly. Usopp's situation was still very different. It was Luffy's reaction that we should be looking at, not Usopp's situation as a whole. Sanji was fucking blackmailed. He was totally and completely blackmailed and kidnapped to be where he was. That's what we learned. That Sanji physically could not reject the Big Mom invitation, or he or someone he loves would be killed. That is a totally different situation to Usopp's situation. The only thing to look at in Usopp's situation is Luffy's reaction, not the situation itself. So many people are looking at how Zoro reacted to Usopp in Water 7 and are going, that's how he would react in Whole Cake Island. He'd just be like, no, Luffy, just get rid of him. Or just hold his word, he attacked you, or blah blah blah. And it's like, putting aside the fact that Zoro knows Sanji, by the way, he understands Sanji. I know that's a controversial thing to say, and that everything he was saying during the moment where Sanji was like, guys, I gotta go, sorry. That was... Thanks, Brig. That was, where is it? Why didn't it pop up? Anyway, put aside the fact that, Zoro was really upset in that moment, and that in Whole Cake Island he'd be less upset because now he knows what's going on. No, he wouldn't just be similar to how he reacted with Usopp, because again, that was a different situation testing Luffy's captainhood. In Whole Cake Island, like, again, it's a toss-up. Like, we can argue back and forth on how he'd react. I'm pretty confident he would not react the same way he reacted in Water 7. Again, that was a whole different situation. But people are like, oh, because of what he did to Luffy, because of what Sanji did to Luffy, blah blah blah, he'd be mad. My friend just said to me, and I totally agree, as if Zoro wouldn't shut up if Luffy told him to shut up. Remember how Luffy said to Nami, when Nami was like, oh my god, Luffy, don't do this or don't do that, don't fight, and Luffy said, Nami, shush. Like, I'm taking care of this. As if Zoro were like, no, let's just go, this is bullshit. As if Luffy wouldn't say, Zoro, shut the fuck up. We are dealing with this the way I am dealing with this, as if Zoro wouldn't shut up. Like, you know what I mean? So many people are like, Malk, shut up! Shut up! That's oomph, by the way. But like, as if, like, but you have a point. If Luffy said to Zoro in that moment, because Luffy was very solid in that moment about what he was going to do with Sanji. As if Zoro wouldn't go, damn, you know? Even if, I don't even think he'd do that, by the way, because I think he'd understand what's happening isn't of Sanji's own, like, decision here. Because Sanji's choice, again, wasn't really his choice. He was being totally blackmailed. And he wanted to get the Straw Hats out of there because he was worried they would get hurt. Every choice Sanji was making in thanks Saber Fred for the sub. Why isn't the alert box popping up for the subs? I don't know what's going on here. Hang on, I gotta fix this. But as if every choice Sanji was making in Whole Cake Island, it was with a literal gun to his head. It was hardly a choice. He was being blackmailed and gaslit every turn. Like, so when people talk about the Usopp situation and the Sanji situation, they take the wrong thing to compare, and it's so frustrating. Because it's like, you are quite literally not looking at it in the right way. Shut up. Hang on, I gotta fix my alert box. I'm not sure what's going on. Hang on, I'm testing my widgets. That's odd. When I test it, it doesn't even pop up. I gotta go to Twitch specifically for this. Greg, stop it! Stop donating things. Give me a second to fix it. I feel bad. I will fix this. Give me a sec. Just refund it, you wish. But yeah, Oomph, you are so smart. But you are very correct. That's the funniest thing. So many people make Zoro a lapdog until they don't want him to be one. They make Zoro like, oh, he would do everything Luffy says, until they don't want him to do what Luffy would say. Because who Luffy is and what Luffy cares about are people that they don't care about, i.e. Sanji. Oh wait, whoops. Put in the wrong code. But of course, Zoro isn't a lapdog. He still does what he says. Or he still does what he wants to do. We're seeing that in Elbaf. He's still doing what he wants to do. Okay, alert box, come here. Why aren't you working? It's just not working point blank. What the hell? Why no work? What's happening? Script writing process for my non-chapter review videos, a day, usually. My channel points working? Hang on, I might have to close the stream and open it again because the alerts are important. Oh my god, you've been looking at that horrible, horrible thing of me the whole time. Okay, they're working. That's awesome. Alright, hang on. I'll be back. I just need to try and fix this alert box problem. I'll be back soon.